Okay, great. That was quite a bit about ABC, but definitely I'm pretty sure people would be interested to know more about the faces who are actually ABC. So why don't we take this moment to introduce each one of you? So maybe a bit about you, your educational background. Maybe that could be an aspiration or a lead for people who are looking forward as well. So, over to
I'm
you.
sure about that. So Vikram and I actually met at Pratham Education Foundation. We were both working there with their digital classrooms program, and so that's kind of just before starting ABC what we were working on. Um, yeah, so kind of going way back, I studied social welfare policy, actually from the social work angle. So I spent some time working as a social worker. So counseling adolescents, young adults, working with parents and kind of understanding environmental factors. Spent a little bit of time in the classroom as well, and then kind of moved more into the research and public policy space. So I spent some time working for a think tank that looks at social policy for adolescents and kind of healthy adolescent development. This was based in the US, and so they work directly with the state government. So it's quite interesting because the research framework would then be something that's implemented and tested by the state government, and there's kind of like a feedback loop. And after that, I moved back to India and started working with Pratham, where I met Vikram. And we sort of saw the scale up of the digital classrooms program. So we started it kind of from scratch. I think I joined the team when they signed the contract for the project. And then we kind of saw it from, testing it from like 20 schools to 100 schools to suddenly a scale up to 1,000 schools in 15 states and understanding different teachers. And I think one of the learnings from that was context. Post Pratham, I kind of moved on and started freelancing. So I worked in kind of very similar to the stuff that ABC does now, but working with different organizations. And that's really where I saw the space in the market and the need for the company. That's kind of how it happened.
Great, great. I mean, it's quite wonderful. So when you're talking about working in the US, so of course as things have always been, so everything happens first in the West and then it comes to India. So of course, I mean, because you have trained there and you have learned everything there and you have brought that here in a way. So according to you, how adaptable is the Indian market in a way? Because I totally understand that the Western culture is pretty flexible, but Indians as a mindset, we've always kind of just hung on to something which is like very traditional. So how difficult was it, in matters of an adaptation, I would ask?
So I actually see it as the opposite because I find that when I move back here, things move very fast,
Fast.
especially in this space of in this space. I think there's a lot happening and there's a lot of people trying out a lot of things, and I think the scale and size of our country allows for that.
Absolutely.
So I actually found it the opposite. I actually thought that kind of in the US a lot of it is tried and tested and methods going forward, whereas I find that in India there's a lot of people trying out a lot of things, and often they fail, especially in this space because it's so unique that it's not like something that works here may not work in a different state. Something that works today may not work tomorrow, and so and that's why I actually really enjoy working in India, and I wanted to be here because I get to be a part of all of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think knowing you, you love challenges and, a new one each day is, good for you. So, on to you, Vikram, a bit more about you.
Yeah, for me, slightly different journey in that I studied international relations. So I was in Geneva. I did my international relations. Worked there for a bit, and at that time I was kind of just trying to figure out what areas I was interested in. So I was definitely interested in the development sector. And I'd worked with some human rights organizations, environment, education, youth development, and was kind of just finding my place. And then I also moved back, I think now it must be about nine years ago. And moved back here. I was freelancing for a while, and that's when I joined Pratham as well. which is where we met. So actually, I joined a little earlier. I was working with another team. I was working with the vocational skilling and English team. And then when this project started, after some time, I got pulled in there just when it was in its kind of nascent infancy. Yeah, then I was there for 4 years, worked with Aparna there on the digital classrooms initiatives, like she said. And then when I left, I think Aparna had left and had kind of been setting up and then had set up ABC. And then so when I left Pratham, she kind of roped me in and I've been here since.
Awesome.
Yeah, and on what you were talking about earlier, I think I agree with Aparna is that yeah, I think it's a complex issue that there is some parts that can be a little, lethargic to change in terms of formal systems, but then there's a lot of innovation happening as well at the same time. So I think it's a mix as is things as happens here. But I think it's definitely interesting. I don't think everything that say we saw in the West is applicable per se. So for me, my personal experience, I can't speak for everyone, but I think what was strong and what I brought back with me was more like process,
Right.
critical thinking, those kind of aspects, like how to approach a problem, but learning about like the diversity and the differences in challenges and complexities and local context, which has to be taken into consideration in the development space, the importance of that was learned here more than anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I think we both learned a lot from our time with Pratham.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's this, session so far has given a broad perspective, about what you guys do and, where you guys are coming from. But, going forward, I'd just like to, position something for people who are watching this video. So, this is like a two-part question. So, the first part is, what would be that one tip from each one of you for any person who is new to this industry or is looking at this industry, as a new entrant? What would be that one tip that you would give? And the second part of the question would be, in case, as ABC, if you are looking for that, that one individual,
Yeah.
what would be the traits of, the person or the individual to be a part of ABC? Because I think you've got a phenomenal team. I'm actually telling this on, camera.
Yeah.
These guys are very picky and choosy. But I mean, that's something, that people should know. And if someone has got those skills, if they want to connect you in any way, I think, this would be the right time.
Yeah.
So let's start with you for another,
So maybe I'll start with kind of a tip for people shifting to the sector or starting out. And I think I said this in the way that we approach work as well, but I think context is everything and understanding context is really important. You cannot work on something if you don't have an idea of what it looks like or how things work or when you're on the ground what it would feel like. And so my advice would be to spend some time getting that context, whether that means reaching out for experiences in your first job that allow you to do that, or even volunteering. It's so important that you get a feel of what you want to work in. For me, that would be kind of key advice that I would give.
Yeah.
How about you, Vikram?
Yeah, I mean, definitely second what Aparna just said, and I think you mentioned about my experience in Pratham was, I think, foundational in getting that kind of travel experiences with people and that context. But to add another point, I would say for me, I think in the social development space, something that I've thought about as being important is kind of the patience to stick on in it. And I think that becomes important because I think early on, and especially my own experience joining, I think you join motivated to see social change or have some positive impact, and it's not always that you just see it like that, or even in a year or two. So that having that kind of grit or patience to keep doing the thing that you believe in doing over a sustained long period. And waiting for that change, which may not always be what you imagine it to be, or may not be as big or as visible as you hope. But doing that work with
Consistently.
with the same effort and the same motivation consistently becomes becomes important, I think, in this space.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's my two cents at least. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I agree with
Yeah.
both of you
Yeah.
on the pointers that you've mentioned, and I think this is the core for anyone and any business.
Yeah.
Understanding the context and patience,
Yeah.
and not just expecting things to just happen overnight. I think consistently, even with workpages, getting workpage into this context.
Yeah.
We never thought that it'd be anything beyond one center.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden now here we are, with two centers, and the
Third
other
one
center
coming, yeah.
and the third center coming up, and everyone gearing up to move into that center.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean these are two important pointers, and I totally agree with.